Hey, good morning, technicians. So last year we put a really big focus on our technical training and trying to make sure that we were doing the best service possible with the best amount of information that we could. So this year we're going to start moving more into our customer service. Okay, talking about what is customer service and things that we can do to really add value and to what we do and why it's so important. So let's go ahead and get into it. So, what is customer service? So, in simple terms, customer service is the help and support a company provides to help its customers before, during, and after they buy or use its products or services. It's about answering questions, solving problems, and making sure customers have a positive experience. Customer service as a technician is going to begin with the on my way notification that we send or the call ahead that we give our customers, and you need to make sure that when you perform this action, you have a friendly voice on the other end of the phone, because that can set the tone for how the customer is going to view our company, right? If you call somebody up and you're just like, "Hello, this is Trey with Barrett. I'm on my way to your site," they're not going to be really excited to see you. But if you call them up and be like, "Hey, this is Trey with Barrett. I've got you on my schedule to do your pest control," and you're very enthusiastic, you're very upbeat, customer's probably going to get a little excited that you're coming, or they're going to be looking forward to you, or they're even going to uh, be a little bit more apt to talk to you, right? They're going to be more apt to give you information. Those walls of a stranger are going to start coming down, especially for our new customers, right? So 9 times out of 10, the technician is going to be the face of the company because you are who they see first. So make sure that you arrive as a professional. Yes, they're going to call the office. They're going to call and get pricing over the phone from sales. They're going to call in. They're going to talk to customer service, but they never ever see anybody. So you, being the professionals that you are the ones that they're going to see, and you're going to be the face of Barrett Pest Control, right? So make sure that you arrive as a professional. Okay, have a clean truck, clean and pressed uniform. Make sure that you have all the materials and equipment that you need. Have a smile and a positive attitude. Okay. The best way you can break down barriers with customers and improve the relaxation, or the mood of the customer is to approach the door with a smile. Greet the customer with a smile. And don't just smile with your teeth, smile with your eyes, smile with your body language. Make sure that you're comfortable so that way they're comfortable as well, and have a positive attitude. No matter what happened at the last stop, no matter what's going on with scheduling, no matter what is happening in the world, nothing else matters besides that customer. And if you have a positive attitude with them, even if they're having a bad day, you could change the direction of their day. Or you better yet, they could change the direction of your day by matching that energy, right? So always have a smile, always have a positive attitude in everything that you do. It's tough on some days. Trust me, I know, I've been there, but I'm telling you that it helps so much. And especially when you have new customers are the most susceptible to cancellation, right? They're going to determine after they see you whether or not they're going to keep doing business with us. But if they have a real positive experience, they have a happy go lucky technician or just somebody who's entertaining, they're going to probably stick around a little bit longer. But with customers, we need to make sure that we control expectations. Okay, so when you're arriving on site, make sure you knock on the door and speak with the client, right? You'll see what I did there. We always refer to our customers as customers, but if you start changing your mindset a little bit and refer to your customers as clients, it raises their status, um, and puts them into um, kind of a more important mindset, right? Our clients are important to us because without our clients, we don't have business, right? So make sure you knock on the door. Don't try to avoid it. Just knock on the door. If somebody wants to talk to you through a Ring doorbell, talk to them through a Ring doorbell. But make sure that you try your best to make contact with the customer whenever you arrive on property, right? And make sure that you talk to them about what you're going to be doing, right? Explain to them, hey, I'm going to be treating the foundations. I'm going to be baiting, putting entice bait in your flower beds? Do you have anything going on the interior of the house that I need to know about? Do you want the interior treated? Make sure you interview the customer, right? So once you've performed your service, make sure you knock on the door again and recap the service with the customer. Explain what you did and anything additionally that you found, why you did everything, and what they can expect after that service. Inform the customer of their next service. This is really, really important here. Okay. If you inform the customer of the next service and what you'll be looking for. So, for example, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, your next service is in May. When I come back, I'm going to be looking at your home for termites or whatever pest will be prominent during the season, right? Rodents in the winter, ants and wasps in the spring, termites in the late spring, early summer, whatever pest we may be looking for. If you explain to them when you come back, this is what you're going to be looking for, this is what you're going to be evaluating for, you just added so much value to what you're doing because homeowners, I know a lot of us are homeowners, termites is the big bad boogeyman. If we got termites on our house, our property values probably just got lowered. It's going to cost us a lot of money to get it taken care of, right? So if they know that we're actively trying to protect their property, that's a lot of value in what we do. Okay. So communicate the same in your notes to drive home the value in what you do. So if you told a customer, hey, I'll be back in May to look for termites, put that in your notes. Now it's in writing. Now it's documented, right? So now you've told the customer twice what you're going to be doing next time you come back. Still put in your recap, still put in all your notes. Um, like I've been telling y'all for almost a year, is add value to your notes. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, this is Trey with Barrett Pest Control. We took care of this, this, and this today. I noticed this. I took care of that. By the way, when I come back out in May, I'll be looking at termites or whatever other pests we're looking for. If you need anything, please feel free to give us a call. Have a wonderful day, right? Make it personable because communication is key, right? When communicating with your customer, it's important to not sound like AI regurgitating the same information, right? Have a little personality in your notes. Your notes on your service ticket should not all be the same every service. Like I said, personalize the note by adding Mr. and Mrs. Jones at the beginning of your notes to let them know that you are focused on their home and their home only at the time of service, right? You're not thinking about the German roach job you got to go to right after this job, or you're not thinking about the ant job that you just did. You were focused on them. If your notes are robotic and always the same thing every single season, treat the perimeter, granulated, dust weed poles, swept eaves. All 4 seasons, there is no value in what we do. There is nothing that customer views as valuable to what we do. And they're going to start thinking, well, another company can probably do it cheaper, or I can just do it myself. And with the rise of pesty, ritty, DIY pest control, these online pest control subscriptions, it is oh so important that we have value in what we do so we don't lose customers to them, or we don't lose customers to door knockers that will promise them the world and give nothing in return, right? So just make sure that your notes have a little bit of personality in there. I know we get caught up in the speed of things. We want to just do the preset notes, and it's quick, right? But I'm telling you, when you start off doing your own notes, you'll find your banter, you'll find your kind of structure of personalized notes, and it will start to speed you back up. Building rapport with your customer is also extremely, extremely important for customer service, right? Always keep in mind that a customer does not care how much you know until they know that you care, right? That is very, very good information right there. Okay, so practice your banter, control the flow of the conversation, and sound confident when you're speaking to your customers and talking to them about the service and what we're going to do, why we're going to do it, and how it's the best thing since sliced bread, right? Have a little bit of enthusiasm about yourself and the client. Now, I'm not saying be so over the top where you're off putting, but don't seem like you don't want to be there. Seem like you're excited to service their house. You want to service this customer because they need us just as much as we need them. Speak with conviction and Make the customer believe that you are the best thing, right? You are the best technician that is in the metro area, and you can take care of all their problems, right? We can take care of a lot of problems. There are some things that we can't, and we understand that. But we're talking about just your general pest control services here. We are the best thing since sliced bread. That is the level of confidence that we need to have. Okay. Also, find some common ground with your customers, right? Sports, music, movies, family, anything. It goes a long way in bringing down these defensive walls that they have put up when dealing with new faces, or even some customers whom we've had for a while that you're a new technician in a new route, right? They don't know you. You're a stranger to them. They know the company, but they don't know you. So finding something that you can relate to your customers about is very important in getting to know them and them getting to know you. When somebody knows you, they're going to stick around a little bit more. It's really hard to fire a friend. It's very easy to fire a business. Now, I'm not saying go out and party and all that stuff with your customers. No, but if you're a friendly face, you're somebody who they enjoy when they come over. Like, a lot of us have been part of our customers' big moments. We've had people become grandparents, we've had people become parents, graduations, promotions. We have shared a lot of moments with our customers. I know personally for me, when I was running, it was called Route 23 back when I was a technician in Dallas, but it's Route 20 now. When I was running Route 20, I had customers who had just gotten married. I had customers who had their grandkids graduating, who had first become grandparents, and it was a super cool moment to be part of, to share that with them, and be genuinely excited for them. Whether you actually care or not is beside the point, but the customer feels like you care about the big events in their lives. You are becoming more of a friend. You are becoming somebody they like to have around. And if you're protecting their home, that's a bonus, right? So make sure you find some common ground, start breaking down those walls, get in, good with them, and make sure that they're happy, make sure they're comfortable. And it's also the little things that we do, right? Between setting expectations, communication, service tickets, building rapport, all of this does go a long way. But what really kind of helps drive you home, because remember, the sales has already sold the service by the time we're getting to the customer. It's you who has to sell yourself, right? That's what customer service is all about, right? Customers are always watching us, either physically, on cameras, you know, all kinds of different ways. But the little things that you can do to take care of the customer go a very, very long way, right? If you're going into the backyard before you even start spraying, take a look around. Move any pet or child toys out of the treatment area. So if they're out in the yard and you're doing a flea treatment, put them up on the patio, up next to the door. Um, you know, Bring their trash can up from the driveway. A lot of customers that we have live in HOAs, right? And it takes you literally like 15 seconds to do it. It's not that difficult. Move pet and food water bowls away from the treatment area. A lot of customers don't usually feed their pets outside, but they'll have a water bowl out there, especially during the summertime. I would always take that water bowl and I would turn it over. I would dump the water out and turn it over on the patio. That way there wasn't really any chance of my products getting into that water bowl and potentially hurting the dog, because we don't know what kind of dog they have. They could have a giant bowl for a little chihuahua or a little bowl for a big old German shepherd, but still, we don't want pesticides anywhere near our customers' pets if we can help it. So doing something like that helps a long way. Find a conducive condition they didn't know about, right? If they have mulch or dirt, uh, the grading of the house is over the weep holes in certain areas, let them know, hey, ants and termites really like that. You might want to rake that back a little bit, or talk to them about the wood pile next to the house. We just got done doing a WDO. Uh, we just got done doing a WDO training talking about wood destroying beetles and insects that can really infest wood next to the house. That's another thing you can talk to them about. And then take care of pests that they didn't know they had, or try and prevent it if you see the conducive conditions. You guys are professionals. You guys are really smart. You're good at what you do. You can see the signs of what needs to be taken care of before we need to react to it. Instead of being reactive pest control, be preventative pest control, right? If a customer tells you about a wasp nest on the right side of their house on the first story eave, but you go around the left side of the house and you notice there's a wasp nest on the second story eave, guess what? Extend your pole out and take it down. Let the customer know, hey, you told me about this one, but I also found this one, and I took that down too. Because one of two things has just happened there. Either one, they purposely didn't tell you about it just to see if you would notice and take care of it, uh, but normally they probably don't know it's up there, and the fact that you took the extra time to take that down and talk to them and let them know that you got it, it just makes you a bit of a superhero in their eyes. Pets. Okay, this one is a big winner, but you got to be careful, right? Not all pets are friendly. You guys are in your routes. You know if customers got friendly pets and which ones don't. Okay, so it's no secret that a lot of customers in today's market are going to treat their pets better than most people, right? When you're at an account, take some time to greet their animals if you know they're friendly. If you know Sally, Lassie, you know, whatever their dog's name is very friendly. When you greet the customer and the animal is there to greet you too, give it a little pat on the head, scratch on the ears, scratch on the back, scratch on the booty, whatever the dog is looking for. It just wants to give you a sniff, it wants some attention, and it'll probably go away. Being kind to a customer's pet and showing some interest in their safety goes above and beyond in so many ways. I can't tell you how many positive complaint or positive compliments that I got from technicians when I was a service manager and from my time as a technician. If I just took a moment to say hi to their dogs, give them a little bit of love, and protect their food and water bowls and protect their animals. Customers will go above and beyond for you to make sure you get reviews. They might give you tips. This is one way that you can show that you care, right? And remember, customers don't care what you know until they know that you care. Pets are a big way to show that you care, right? If they don't know you care, if they know that you care, they will begin to trust you more and value your knowledge, right? Once the customer trusts you, knows you, and really likes you, then your those issues that we all have at times where the customer Googles something and thinks they know more than us or wants to do this or wants to do that, and we tell them no and why, it's a less likely chance that they're going to get upset with us because they're going to trust us. They're going to trust our knowledge, right? So take time, go through a lot of these different steps, right? We are in a service based industry. Yes, we're providing pest control services, but we need to provide customer service. Okay. And it looks in, these are just some examples. These are some examples of what we can do, right? If you have something that works for you and it resonates with your customers, share it with us, share it in the Discord if you're in the Discord, share it in the group chat. If you've got a group chat with all the technicians, share it with your managers. If you've got something that works for you and it yields you a lot of positive reactions from your customers, we want to know about it, right? We want to know so that we can spread that knowledge, we can spread that information, and hopefully help out some other technicians that may possibly be struggling with this. And I know I'm asking a lot uh, from people who may be a little bit more introverted, and that's okay. That is totally okay because there's a lot of times I find myself being introverted too, but I'm also a big extrovert too when I'm in front of the customers. Just practice some of this stuff. Practice your banter, practice controlling conversations, practice everything, and you will get better at it. And it will start to become more natural, right? If you do role play, managers, you can do role play with your technicians in your meeting days. So that way, hey, we're going to practice customer service today. And then your manager can give you feedback on where you can improve. Um, this is this is extremely extremely important, guys. And I could rattle on about this all day. So this will be the end of my presentation. If y'all need something, you want some more tips, hints, tips, and tricks, you can feel free to reach out to me. You can reach out to your direct supervisor, your branch manager. We are all here to help you succeed. If y'all need anything, let me know. I hope y'all have a wonderful day, a wonderful month, and I will see all of you soon. Bye.